The heading Introduction, Contextualizing the Legend of Goliath, invites us into a nuanced exploration of a story deeply embedded in cultural consciousness. The tale of David and Goliath, primarily known from the biblical narrative, is often distilled into a simple metaphor for underdogs overcoming insurmountable odds. However, the perspective of Goliath, the vanquished giant, remains overlooked. Contextualizing Goliath's legend involves examining the socio-political landscape of ancient Philistia and Israel, where the Philistines and Israelites were embroiled in prolonged conflict. Goliath, often depicted as a formidable but brutish warrior, represents more than just physical might. He embodies the fears and challenges faced by smaller entities confronting perceived existential threats. The significance of contextualizing Goliath lies in its ability to humanize the so-called antagonist, unraveling layers of historical and psychological depth. By understanding Goliath not merely as a villain, but as a product of his environment, we can reassess the simplistic good versus evil dichotomy often applied to conflicts. This perspective encourages empathy and a more holistic view of historical narratives. A real-world application of this concept is evident in modern political and social conflicts, where one-sided stories dominate discourse. By examining the other side's perspective, such as in ongoing territorial disputes, negotiators and peace builders can foster understanding and potentially devise more effective resolutions. Similarly, literature and educational curricula can benefit from including multiple viewpoints. For instance, deconstructing classic tales in educational settings to explore alternative narratives can promote critical thinking among students. In supporting this idea, many contemporary historians and literary scholars argue for a more inclusive approach to storytelling. Challenging the dominant narrative not only enriches the complexity of the story, but also democratizes history by acknowledging marginalized voices. Nevertheless, potential challenges arise when reassessing established myths. Shifting perspectives can provoke controversy, particularly when the reevaluation challenges deeply held beliefs or cultural identities. Some may perceive this as an attempt to dilute traditional values or rewrite history. Contextualizing the legend of Goliath also influences other aspects of the main topic, such as themes of power dynamics and the nature of heroism. It encourages a re-examination of what truly constitutes strength and courage, shifting the focus from sheer might to more nuanced qualities like wisdom and empathy. By expanding our understanding of Goliath, we redefine the narrative's moral and philosophical insights, enabling a more comprehensive exploration of the human condition. This approach serves as a foundation for exploring Goliath's perspective, fostering a richer dialogue about historical narratives and their implications on contemporary society. The historical setting of the battle between David and Goliath takes us to the Valley of Elah during the Iron Age, a time when the Philistines and Israelites were frequent adversaries. This moment, as recorded in biblical texts, encapsulates more than just a clash of armies. It serves as a poignant narrative of power dynamics and the complexities of ancient warfare. Understanding the historical setting is crucial to unraveling Goliath's perspective, as it frames the environment in which this legendary encounter took place. The Philistines, likely originating from the Aegean, settled along the coastal regions of Canaan. They were technologically advanced for the time, possessing superior iron weaponry, which played a significant role in their military strategies and was a source of intimidation for neighboring regions, including the Israelites who were less equipped. The significance of this historical backdrop is pivotal when examining Goliath's defeat. It underscores the era's technological and psychological warfare. Goliath, as part of the Philistine champions, personified their martial prowess. His defeat by a shepherd boy armed with only a sling challenges perceptions of might and strategy from a purely technological standpoint. This setting emphasizes the David and Goliath narrative as more than just physical battle. It is a strategic and morale pivot in the Israelite campaign against a technologically superior opponent. One real-world application of this historical context is the modern analysis of asymmetric warfare, where seemingly weaker forces take on stronger ones, not through sheer force, but via innovative tactics. Another example is the psychological warfare present in military strategies today, where perceptions can heavily influence outcomes regardless of tangible strength differences. Opinions supporting the importance of the historical setting often focus on its teaching value. It highlights how underestimating an opponent based on appearance or assumed power can lead to unexpected outcomes. However, challenges to this include skepticism about the historical accuracy of the biblical account, with some scholars arguing the David and Goliath story is more myth than fact, or that it has been embellished over time. This historical grounding influences other aspects of the main topic by providing context for Goliath's role and legacy. Re-examining such settings allows us to explore alternative narratives and understand the broader socio-political dynamics of the time, which are often overshadowed by the sensationalism of the singular event. It invites us to consider how Goliath, despite his defeat, remains a symbol of formidable power and the complex interplay of fate and history. Understanding Goliath. The giant's perspective invites us to explore the story of Goliath from his unique vantage point, effectively humanizing a figure traditionally seen as the antagonist in the biblical narrative. This approach redefines Goliath not just as a mere obstacle for David, but as a character with his own experiences, fears, and motivations. By delving into Goliath's psyche, we gain a deeper understanding of the multidimensional nature of storytelling, where villains are not just flat figures, but can also be sympathetic beings shaped by their own circumstances and choices. The significance of this perspective is profound. It challenges traditional narratives, allowing us to reevaluate preconceived notions about heroes and villains. By considering Goliath's perspective, we open the floor to discussions about the nature of conflict, the complexities of human behavior, and the biases in storytelling. This examination can foster empathy and a more nuanced understanding of adversaries in various contexts, from personal relationships to global conflicts. In practical terms, this concept can be illustrated by examining historical figures often cast in a negative light. For example, looking at opposing leaders in conflicts can offer insight into the reasons behind their actions and the pressures they faced. Similarly, in literature and film, reimagining stories from the antagonist's viewpoint, such as in Wicked, which presents the Wicked Witch of the West side of the story, can provide fresh perspectives and challenge audiences to question their initial judgments. Support for this idea comes from scholars and authors who argue that stories are most powerful when they explore the complexity of human nature. Understanding an antagonist's perspective enriches narratives and provides opportunities for reflection and growth. However, there are challenges to this approach. Some may argue that focusing on Goliath detracts from the intended moral or religious lessons of the original story. Others might suggest that certain figures should not be empathized with due to their actions. There's also the potential for controversy if the reinterpretation downplays certain ethical considerations or the suffering experienced by other characters. Ultimately, this perspective influences the main topic by highlighting the importance of multifaceted storytelling. It underscores the necessity of viewing narratives from various angles to appreciate their complexity, thus enriching our understanding of not just Goliath's defeat, but the broader human condition. Engaging with Goliath's perspective encourages audiences to consider how stories are shaped and the powerful impact of empathy and context in understanding adversities. In the analysis of the battle dynamics between David and Goliath from Goliath's perspective, we delve into the complex interplay of psychological and physical elements that define this legendary encounter. The concept here focuses on understanding the nuances that led to Goliath's defeat, offering an alternative view that considers his limitations and the strategic prowess of David. This examination is crucial in unraveling how assumptions about power and vulnerability can distort perceptions of strength and weakness. The significance of this point lies in its ability to shift the narrative from a simplistic tale of a small shepherd boy defeating a giant to a more nuanced exploration of how underestimating one's opponent and overestimating one's own abilities can lead to downfall. This perspective provides a critical lens through which we can understand leadership, strategy, and conflict in broader contexts. A pertinent real-world example is the business world, where established companies like Kodak underestimated the digital revolution that smaller, more agile competitors embraced. Just as Goliath might have misjudged David's capabilities, Kodak failed to anticipate the market shift, leading to its decline. Similarly, in sports, the 1980 Miracle on Ice is reminiscent of this dynamic, where the underestimated U.S. hockey team triumphed over the heavily favored Soviet team. demonstrating how underdogs can strategically overcome stronger opponents. Opinions supporting this idea often highlight the importance of adaptability and keen situational awareness. Many strategists argue that Goliath's defeat serves as a cautionary tale for leaders to remain vigilant and not be blinded by their own might or past successes. Challenges and controversies surrounding this viewpoint include debates over whether Goliath truly had weaknesses inherent in his size, such as mobility issues or compromised vision, which may have contributed to his defeat. Some argue that it reinforces an unfair narrative that demonizes physical disabilities or differences as innate disadvantages rather than potential strengths. This analysis connects to broader themes within the main topic by illustrating how stories of giants and underdogs mirror societal values and biases about power dynamics. It influences our understanding of conflict resolution and strategy, emphasizing the need for empathy and open-minded approaches in assessing opponents. By reevaluating the dynamics of the battle with David, we gain deeper insights into human nature and the intricacies of perceived versus actual strength. This enriches the narrative with complexity, inviting audiences to reconsider preconceived notions about victory and defeat.